Hey you, I wanted to have a little conversation today from the heart. Let me make sure my camera is adjusted properly. All right, here we go. Episode 1 of Home with Olivia Limón, and I am Olivia Limón. And why are you here today? Why am I here today? I'm here to tell you. Because this podcast that is appearing out of thin air on the internet is the direct result of one fundamental question that I have. And if my intuition serves me right, it's probably a question that many of you have listened, or many of you have asked yourselves as well. And that is the question of, why am I here on this earth? Because I think for a lot of us, we are told at a young age that if we go to school, if we get good grades, if we go to college and then graduate college and then get a good job and then get married and then have the kids, that everything will just kind of fall into place and our purpose will be implicit in the life that is the result of following all those steps. And I think a lot of people reach a point at different times in their life, for me it was 30, where they wake up and they realize that while they have maybe accomplished a lot, they haven't really achieved any of their dreams. They haven't followed their passions to see where that might lead them. For me, I woke up at 30 and I realized that a decade had gone by where I hadn't really done anything that I truly wanted to do in life. And your 20s are this time in your life where you experiment. And for me, there was a lot of experimenting going on in my 20s. I had different relationships. I had different jobs. I had been in and out of friendships. And, your 20s are just kind of the Wild West in a way, because it's meant to be a time of experimentation. But then I reached 30 and I realized that I had gotten to a point in my life where, with all the experiences that I had yet to really feel like I had accomplished a dream of mine. And it can be a sad feeling. For me, it was definitely sad, but it was also, I want to say, liberating, because once you hit 30, I don't know. Oh, Mocha, my dog is about to bark. Shh, baby, please don't. I'm trying to record in my living room right now, and I have a dog, and that is hard. I might have to pause this. Baby, calm down. So for people like me, you reach a certain age where something just clicks in you and you realize how finite time is and how there really is no reason to be afraid to just go out there and try. Maybe you'll fail. Maybe it won't work out exactly as you pictured it. But what is there that's stopping you? We all go to bed at night with these dreams, right? Like you fall asleep and maybe you're dreaming of writing a novel or opening a coffee shop or starting a new business venture or picking up the paintbrush, whatever that dream is. You're falling asleep every night. And it's easy in our 20s when we're younger to just kind of repeatedly tell ourselves, well, tomorrow I will get started, or next week I'm going to get started. And then what happens? Tomorrow just never comes, because when you're young, there's more time ahead of you. So there's more time to imagine a better future. And for me, that's kind of what I spent my 20s doing. I was having all these experiences, but I wasn't putting any of my true dreams into action. I was just falling asleep at night, telling myself, next week I will write the first chapter of my novel. And next week I will start lining up interviews for a podcast. And it never happened. And that's why I'm sitting here at 30, just now, opening my camera in my living room with a speaker set that I ordered off of Amazon, because it took starting a new chapter of a new decade for me to really realize just how precious time is, and how, the world is really your canvas at the end of the day. It really truly is. And so that was my core question, is what are my dreams? What is my purpose in this life? Who am I? Like, what is my purpose in this life? What is your purpose in this life? What do you feel in your heart you were put on this world? What do you feel in your heart that you were put on this world to do? Right, Mocha? Mocha, see this dog here, dogs have it simple, don't they? They know what they were put on this world to do. They were just put here to love us, to give us kisses. For a dog, it's so simple, right? But we need to be more like dogs. We need to simplify our focus. Dogs, they don't think about much, right? Other than eating, playing, loving. Their life is very simple, and we complicate our lives. But the reality is that you know what your dream is. You know what your passion in life is. You know what your path is. It's that dream that sits in the back of your head every single day, but you, for whatever reason, are telling yourself it's too embarrassing to try, or I care what my in-laws think, or I care what strangers think, so I'm not even going to attempt to do it. Or I've heard so many stories of failure, so why even try? Well, you're dying. And I'm not saying that to be depressing. Like, we're all dying. We're all in the process here of dying in a way. And I know that sounds sad, but it's liberating in a way, because you realize, what is there to be afraid of? Like, you're afraid of what Jerry on the internet thinks of you? Why? The people that you're imagining in your head, they are nothing to be afraid of. Because at the end of the day, do you want to be at the end of your life regretting that you didn't try? So this podcast, I might have to take a break, because my dog, she is, if you can hear her, she is crying up a storm. She wants to go outside. That's another thing she thinks of. She thinks of maybe 4 things in this life: eating, going outside, loving, and just laying around all day. It's very simple for a dog. All right. On the topic of why we are here and what this podcast is going to be all about. I woke up at 30 and I realized I needed to meet some people, because I think one of the best ways for us to get inspired to start putting our dreams and our hopes and aspirations into action is to hear from other people. And I woke up 2 weeks ago. Yeah, 2 weeks ago. And I decided I am going to interview people in my neighborhood, Waykesha, Wisconsin. And the reason I am doing this is because I think now more than ever, we all can benefit from hearing different perspectives, learning about different walks of life. And in doing so, in hearing these stories in podcast form, I hope that for me and for you, that we can get inspired together, because people are just so interesting, you guys. I started this 2 weeks ago, and I have interviews lined up with all sorts of people: bakers, artists, real estate agents, business owners, regular people working 9 to 5s, living day-to-day life, moms, parents, you name it. If you have a story and you're listening to this right now, I want to talk to you, because I think that the more people hear from other people who are going out into the world and doing something that they are passionate about, that gets them excited to wake up in the morning, the more we hear from those types of people, the more inspired you and I get, right? Because sometimes we get stuck in our patterns of behavior, our patterns of thinking, because we haven't yet been exposed to an alternative. And I'll give you an example of this. I was sitting down with a woman today who is a real estate agent, and hearing her story, and it was a story of transitions. She was someone who wasn't afraid to transition from one thing to another. She quit her job and then within a week became a real estate agent and within a week she passed the test and started a whole new chapter of her life. She just took a risk and put herself out there. And to me, that is so inspiring, because it just goes to show that when you put your all into something, that's really it. When you change your focus and you put on your glasses, your lenses, and you zero in on whatever it is that you want to do, things will start happening. And I think it was 6 years later. If she's listening to this, I'm sorry if I have this wrong, but a few years later, she's a real estate agent and she's doing well. She loves her job. She is successful. And this all started because she just took a risk and put herself out there and focused on her dream and was willing to maybe accept a little bit of failure at first or a little bit of awkwardness at first, because whenever there's a big life transition, there's always a risk that comes with it. The bigger the transition, the bigger the risks associated with it. So it was inspiring to hear her story, and I'm sure there's so many other people like that. So many other people. I am in conversations with podcast guests right now who they come from all different walks of life, you guys. And I'm excited to have these conversations with you all listening along with me, because that's what this is all about. We are here to listen to other people and hear what they have to tell. Let them impart their wisdom onto us, because that is the key to figuring out your own path to accomplishing your dreams. And if you get one thing from listening to this podcast today, I am just a random girl from Wisconsin who decided 2 weeks ago that I was going to start doing podcasting. And I had no prior experience as a podcaster. I had never talked to a camera before. I have never interviewed people in a podcast format before. All of this is new to me. Like, genuinely, I am a random ass girl from Wisconsin. And I still woke up 2 weeks ago. I decided I'm doing this. And I have lined up, I want to say 8 interviews. That's 8 different stories of people like you and me who are in the process of figuring it out, going for their dreams, doing what they love. And 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks. And who knows? I don't know where this is going to go. I am doing this purely for the love of the game. I want to, by the way, I didn't mention this earlier. The series is called Portraits of Home. And I'm starting off with capturing Waykesha, so Portraits of Waykesha, Wisconsin. The people, places, and stories that are giving this community character and bringing this part of the world to life. I'm starting here, and eventually I'll branch out, but I don't know where this is going to take me. I am just out here doing what it is that I love and what it is that I want to do. And I genuinely, if you are listening to this, if you take one thing away from this, it's that you can wake up tomorrow and have your cup of coffee, get caffeinated, get excited, and put yourself out there. Just do it. Just jump out of the plane with a parachute, of course, but jump out and adjust as you fall. We don't wait until we are pushed or until it's too late. We have to just take the risk and start doing what it is that we want to do and adjust as we go. You're not going to be good at first. It's going to be awkward. It's going to feel weird. You just adjust as you go. You have to learn to be okay with not being perfect at first, because perfectionism is the death of dreams, you guys. It's the death of them. So just get started and get going. That's what I did. That's all I did. And if you take anything away from this podcast today, it is that you can wake up tomorrow and do the same exact thing. Whatever your dream is, start writing that novel. Open up your Word document and start typing it. 1 page a day. 1 page a day. That's it. You want to open a business? Again, open up that Word document. Start coming up with a plan. What is the brand of your business? What is it that you're trying to bring into this world? Start describing it in detail. What is it that you want to bring to life and bring into the community? You want to become, another dream that you could have is simply to just be a better friend or a better wife, better husband. You know, we all have dreams are not, there's no limit. The sky's the limit here, guys. You just have to wake up and decide what it is that you want to bring into the world, what it is that you want to do today, and just try. This podcast is not going to be perfect. I am new. I'm new, and so are you. So put yourself out there. Let's go for our dreams this week. And just let's make it happen. So you're going to be hearing from people on this podcast. Like I said, 8 interviews coming up. So if that interests you, if you live in Waukesha, Wisconsin, and you want to subscribe right now for these interviews, you know what to do. And if you are listening and you think, I want to talk to Olivia, I am here in Waukesha, and I am willing to have those conversations with you. You don't need any perfect resume. You don't need to be perfect. I just want to hear your story. And we're just going to have a conversation, you and me, about your inspirations, your life journey, the challenges that you've overcome. I want to hear it all. So until next time, and just so you all are aware, my dog, I did get her to calm down. Look at her. She's so cute when she's sleeping, isn't she? Yeah. All right. Bye.